Now, rewards, enjoyable stimuli, behaviours, can be used to reinforce a specific behaviour, which is what we were talking about in that positive reinforcement. But they don't only get used to reinforce behaviours. We can also use rewards to adjust arousal, for example. So swallowing food typically lowers arousal. Playing tug may increase arousal. We can use rewards to shift an emotional state in the moment. So, for example, if our dog becomes very frustrated, we might just rapid feed some treats to help relieve that frustration or to help our dog change their emotional state in that moment so they can be more clear-headed and continue on with the training. Once a behaviour is trained, it needs to retain its association with reinforcement, whether that's intrinsic or extrinsic reinforcement, because any behaviour that is no longer reinforced will eventually be extinguished. Intrinsically reinforced behaviours, though, are maintained through performance of the behaviour alone. So every time they do the behaviour, it's being reinforced, because every time they do the behaviour, it's intrinsically reinforced. Other behaviours are always susceptible to deterioration if externally provided reinforcement is not carefully monitored and maintained at an adequate rate. And the ROR we often see refers to rate of reinforcement. So now let's move on and talk about reinforcement schedules. So behaviours can be maintained on continuous or intermittent schedules of reinforcement. Continuous, this is when each repetition of the behaviour is reinforced. So as a human example, every time we perform the behaviour of turning on a light switch, the light comes on and our behaviour is reinforced. Every time we perform the behaviour of putting money into a vending machine and pushing the buttons, a treat comes out, so our behaviour is reinforced. Our scent work alerts for dogs are typically kept on a continuous schedule of reinforcement. So every time the behaviour of performing a correct alert is performed, that behaviour is rewarded.